Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying close attention to the NFL landscape lately, you've probably heard the buzz about Jadeveon Clowney. Yes, that veteran pass rusher, the guy who's been around for quite some time, and who's always been known for his power, explosiveness, and ability to disrupt defenses. But what's really catching everyone's attention now is the fact that Clowney, after remaining unsigned during the preseason, is finally on the verge of signing with the Detroit Lions. That's right, the Lions, a team that's been building something special over the past few seasons, might be about to add another piece that could really take their defense to the next level. And let's be honest here, Lions fans, this potential signing isn't just a small move. It's a statement. It signals that Detroit is serious about contending not just for a playoff spot, but for a deep run, possibly even going all the way to the Super Bowl. Clowney's experience, his knack for getting to the quarterback, and his ability to make plays when it counts, these are qualities that can really complement what Detroit has already built on defense. And if you look at the current roster, with Aiden Hutchinson leading the charge on the edge, adding a seasoned veteran like Clowney could be the missing piece to form one of the most fearsome pass-rushing duos in the league. But hold on, let's unpack this a bit. Clowney, who posted 5.5 sacks last season with the Carolina Panthers, is still showing that he can bring the heat. And it's not just about sacks. It's about pressures, disruption, making the quarterback uncomfortable. These are things that Clowney has been doing throughout his career. Last year alone, he registered 25 pressures, which is a solid number for a player who's often used in specialized pass-rushing roles. Now, at this stage of his career, he might not be the every-down guy he was in his prime, but as a designated pass rusher in sub-packages, he can be a real game-changer. It's about leveraging his strengths without overextending him, and the Lions' coaching staff, led by Dan Campbell, has shown a knack for maximizing player talent and building a culture of accountability and grit. Now, the interesting part is that Clowney's situation is a bit unique. Since he was released by the Panthers, he's still owed some guaranteed money, which could influence his decision-making. He's not just chasing a paycheck. It seems like he's looking for the right fit, the team where he can make a real impact and also fit into a culture that values team-first mentality. The Lions, with their recent focus on building a tight-knit, disciplined squad, seem like an ideal landing spot for him. It's worth noting that Detroit has been very careful about the culture they're cultivating, especially under Dan Campbell's leadership, which emphasizes toughness, accountability, and unity. And this brings us to an important point. Clowney has never been a player with a bad reputation, but he's also known to have a bit of an independent streak at times. That's something the Lions are very aware of. They've dealt with similar situations before, like last season with Zadarius Smith, who also brought that veteran edge but required some guidance to fully integrate into the team's system. If Clowney is willing to buy into what Detroit is doing, if he's ready to be a team player and contribute to the collective effort, he could be the perfect piece to help unlock even more potential from their defense. Think about the potential pairing with Hutchinson. Imagine the offensive lines trying to double-team Hutchinson, but then Clowney sneaking in from the other side, applying constant pressure, forcing mistakes, and creating turnovers. It's exactly the kind of dynamic that can turn games around. Plus, with the Lions coaching staff, especially Dan Campbell's leadership style, there's a real opportunity to get the best out of Clowney, to reignite that Pro Bowl-level performance he's known for. Campbell's approach, which emphasizes motivation, resilience, and playing with relentless energy, could be just what Clowney needs to thrive again. Now, of course, nothing is guaranteed until the ink is dry on the contract, but the signs are pointing strongly in this direction. The Lions have shown they're not afraid to take calculated risks, especially when it comes to bolstering their roster for a postseason push. They're in their Super Bowl window, no doubt about it. The team's overall trajectory, the talent on offense, with Jared Goff leading the charge, and the defense, which has been improving steadily, all set the stage for a real run. Adding Clowney could be that final piece that elevates them from a good team to a great one. Let's talk about the bigger picture here. NFC North is shaping up to be a competitive division once again. The Vikings have their own strengths, the Packers are always lurking with talent, and the Bears are rebuilding. But Detroit, with this potential addition, could establish a clear edge. The defensive line is a key battlefront, and having Clowney add to Hutchinson gives them flexibility, depth, and a serious threat to opposing quarterbacks. It's about establishing dominance up front, dictating the pace of games, and keeping the offense off the field. Now, some might wonder about the potential chemistry issues, or whether Clowney's independent streak could clash with the Lions' team-first culture. But remember, Detroit has been very deliberate about building a cohesive unit. They've shown that they can integrate veterans effectively, and Campbell's leadership style is all about motivation and getting players to buy into the collective goal. If Clowney is willing to embrace that environment, he could blossom again. And honestly, with a player of his caliber, even if he's used sparingly or in specific situations, the impact can be immense. As we look ahead to the season, this signing, if it happens, could be a game changer. It's not just about adding another player, it's about elevating the entire defense, giving Goff more time and space to operate, and setting the tone for a team that's hungry for success. The Lions have been building towards this moment, and this move could be the catalyst that takes them from playoff contenders to legitimate Super Bowl contenders. The NFC is tough, but Detroit is proving that they're ready to take the mantle, and adding Clowney would be a clear message to the league. They mean business. So, Lions fans, keep your eyes peeled. The news could drop any day now, and when it does, it might just be the start of a new chapter for Detroit's defense and their Super Bowl ambitions. This is a team that's been climbing the ranks, and with the right pieces like Jadeveon Clowney, they could finally reach that elusive goal of a championship. The season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and Detroit is right in the middle of it, pushing hard, aiming higher than ever before. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe Clowney could be the missing piece for Detroit? Are you excited about the potential pairing with Hutchinson? Or do you have concerns about how he'll fit into the team's culture? Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Lions. Remember, this team has been built on resilience, grit, and a relentless desire to win. And if Clowney joins, it could be the perfect catalyst to push them even further. I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news, because this season promises to be unforgettable.